Look, the problem, the number one problem you have is not following up.
Boom.
I'm telling you, you want to get where you're going. One thing, somebody asked me the other day, hey, one thing you would not give up if you had to give up everything. What's the one thing you wouldn't give up? You wouldn't give up your sales technique, huh, Grant? Oh no, I'd give that up. For this, I'd give it up. The ability to follow up.
Long,
the
hard.
ability over long periods of time. Okay, when like, look, let me tell you how long I follow up. What's my saying, Jared?
Follow up until one of you dies.
Until somebody dies. It's either me or them. Okay, when I die, I'm not even sure I'm gonna quit following up when I die. Shit, I might come back.
Come back from the dead.
Hey, I'm in your face. I'm in your face. You should have bought this shit when I was alive. So, Jared, let's talk about the solution, okay?
Yeah, so look, number one solution.
Dude, you got to get your follow-up on, dog.
Get your game tight. Follow up until one of you dies. That's
and you got to
mindset.
understand that is the number one deal. I tell my sales department all the time, look, guys, okay, I can tell you this to say and that to say, handle this objection. The number one most important thing, if you keep your pipeline full, straight out of this book right here, first or last. If you're not first, you're last. Okay, this book is about follow-up. This book was a prospecting book, really, about, hey, what do you have to do to stay first in the consumer's mind? Obscurity, I talk
because
about.
If you're not, and the title, people think, Ricky Bobby when they hear the title, but in reality, if you're not first in the buyer's mind, you may as well be last.
And that doesn't mean there's levels of first. Okay, the word obscurity means I don't know you, but really what I'm talking about in this book is you've gotten somebody to know who you are, but now they forget when they go to pull the trigger that you do that. Plumbing, contracting, massage, whatever it is you do, however you somehow revenue your life. They forgot. They went to get a massage and they're like, oh man, I went and got my massage. It was a terrible massage and I did it with Michelle and it was terrible.
Horrible.
It was a horrible massage, but you've already given the $105 to Michelle. Okay, and you're like, damn, I forgot my Uncle Henry, he gives massage and he always gives me a happy ending. Oh, Uncle Henry. Okay.
Ew,
damn. But it's too late now. You're out of the 105. You don't have the money anymore. It's too late. And because Henry, your uncle, didn't follow up, dude. He basically.
Could we say Aunt Henrietta instead of
Henrietta,
Uncle Henry?
Henrietta.
I mean, that's just kind of a weird thing for me.
Henrietta.
All right, Aunt Henrietta.
Henrietta was actually me and my twin brother had this childhood friend.
A friend.
The friend that didn't exist. What do you call those?
Like an invisible friend?
Imaginary.
Like an imaginary friend, yeah.
And that imaginary friend's name was?
Henrietta.
Henrietta.
Was it a boy or a girl?
I don't know. Dude, it's like a Cylon from Battlestar Galactica. Is it male, female? It's a machine, dude.
Who knows,
This
man?
was a fantasy, okay? So, by the way, when you're doing follow-up, you have to be in a bit of fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So number one, you're not following up, and you said before the break, there's a reason why you're not doing this. Not really your fault.
Yeah, the reason you're not following up is because since you were born, people have been telling you to not be rude, to not be forceful, to be quiet, to be seen and not heard.
I told you. Who's that?
Your parents.
Your parents, man. Don't ask me again. Dude. Exactly. That muscle that you had as a child was the exact thing you need to see something all the way through.
Grant always says, salespeople aren't kids. They're closers. They don't bother building you up and warming you up, buttering you up. They're just like, give me the candy or I'm ripping the shelf down.
Yeah, early on, it's like, hey, I want a piece of gum. No. Why not? No. Don't ask me again. Third one is, okay, I'm tearing the freaking house down. See, they're willing to go all the way to say, hey, I'm going to persist. Now, as time goes on, that person starts to have that skill undone in them because they're made wrong. Second step.
Be so frequent that people think you a freak. If you believe in your product enough, then regardless of what anybody tells you, you're going to keep following up because you believe it's the right thing. Man, frequent, you need to be so frequent that they think you're a freak. They're like, who is this person?
So frequent.
What planet did they come from?
So frequent.
What is so amazing about their product that they can call me every single day for 6 months?
So frequent.
Wearing my ass out.
Now, that poses a bit of an issue, okay? I'm telling you, this thing about follow-up
Who's
is
the
big,
issue
dude.
for? The issue for me or the issue for the customer?
What we're talking about, they don't teach in college.
They don't.
Okay, it poses
You
an
never
issue.
heard that.
Because when you start dropping in on a guy every 15 minutes, That frequent?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, when you get that frequent, you have to get extremely, extremely, extremely creative.
Oh, yeah. And creativity.
Number 3.
Creativity follows commitment, but you got to be so creative.
Dude, that they don't even know you're selling anything.
They don't even
anymore.
know what you're selling. I want to drop a couple more things on follow-up here.
Yeah,
let's do that. I think it's kind of an important topic. So far we've discussed that you got to follow up until one of you dies.
But how do you do that, dude? Come on, let's get real here. You can't just keep following somebody
exactly.
up.
And
some guy calls me up and says, hey, man, I want a bid. Let's just make something up. I want a bid to do my kitchen. You come out, you give me the bid, and I'm like, nah, I'm just going to wait a while.
Sure.
Talk to
sure.
How often do you follow this cat up? Or what do you mean somebody's got to die?
It's never too soon to follow up. So we would immediately send some kind of follow-up message either when you got to the car, when you got back to the office. Thanks for the opportunity. Looking forward to moving forward with you.
So you're saying the follow-up should be that day, the first one?
Immediate.
Okay, first one's that day. Okay, immediate. Like what does immediate mean? Not that day, not later, not 3 hours?
Like when you're walking out. Like you get
texting him on the way out there.
Yeah.
All over him, cover him up like white on rice.
So then what?
Unless it's wild rice, and then you want to be covering him up like wild on rice. Unless it's brown rice, and then you want to cover him up like it's brown on rice.
It could be sticky rice.
Then it'd be cover him like sticky on.
Yeah. So then the day 2, what we would do is we would have a database of information. So like you've got to have a plan with follow up,
like a CRM or something.
Well, no, not even a CRM, but what you need to have is
I see a lot of guys getting CRMs.
But
they get a CRM and think that the CRM's going to do the follow up.
Yeah, it's a robot. Robot can't be customized to a situation or a communication that you're having with somebody.
And I'm going to tell you something. Salesforce.com wouldn't follow up the way I'm telling you to. I'm telling you what? Follow up until he die.
Or bye.
Follow up so frequent he think you freak. And then and be so creative he don't even know you're following him up anymore. So frequent is what? As soon as you left.
Oh yeah. Every day.
And what, like
every day. And there's always more than one form of communication with somebody. So like if you look at the types of follow-up, you've got in-person, video, email, phone, in-person, handwritten letters. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you can text,
email, photo, video, what else?
Social media.
Social media. Hey, man, I just met this great guy on Facebook. Push energy and attention to his page.
So what I was saying before was when you're following up with somebody, the first thing you got to have is you got to have a lot of information and resources. So you're calling besides to say, are you ready to buy it?
You got to have a commitment. You got to have a commitment to say, I'm following this guy. He's expressed interest. There's a lead. Now, you got to understand, you've already invested 2 hours, 3 hours, 45 minutes, whatever the number is. Now, you need to stay on him like a pit bull with lockjaw, okay? Now, that's challenging. First comes the commitment from internal. Then you got to say, okay, how frequent do I go at this guy? You got to go frequent, man. You got to go frequent, okay?
Because if you're not first, you're last. You got to be the first person he thinks about. If he had 4 other people come bid for it, how many times have you been the low bid in an apartment deal and gotten the deal?
Dude, probably half my deals.
The lowest bid. That means he's paying the least for the property, and they still do the deal with him.
These are not emotional people. These are not emotional people. These people are making decisions on logic. But the frequency, the frequency, literally until they think, dude, something's wrong with this guy. Frequency until people think you are a freak. That is the frequency necessary if you want to get to this level, okay? If you want to get to big boy level, big girl level, you have to hit frequent often, which forces you into number 3, which has become so creative. And I talk about this constantly in this program, become so creative, okay? And that's why you're not following up, because you're running out of ideas and things to say or things to do. Become so creative that
I can
it
only
doesn't
make up
feel
that
like
call so many times, you know?
Right.
So
what do we do when you're out of juice? What do we do?
Dude, we'll flip them. We'll use something else.
Okay. My department, my office in here, we flip leads because a guy will run out of information and data and content because we're committed to our customer, committed to our product, and committed to our growth. Okay, when do you quit following up? When
Never.
Somebody dies. Never. And then you might want to keep following the estate up. The last big apartment deal I did, I bought it from the estate because I couldn't buy it from the guy when he was still living.
Because he died.
He died, so I kept following him up. I broke my own damn rule. Made $20 million on that. Number 2, frequent, baby. You got to be frequent. You got to be so frequent people think you what?
Think you're a freak.
They think you're a freak. Look at Michael Jackson.
He's a freak.
Okay.
Did you know he died?
Dude, I heard about that, man.
Crazy,
Number
right?
3, you got to get creative, baby. You got to do some moon shuffle Moonwalking, I mean.
Look,
moonwalking,
and I'm going to finish my thought because it's important. You need to go through and compile a list of information that you can send people.
Is that funny? I'm going to finish my thought because it's important.
It is. It is.
That's real radio right there, dude.
So you need to get together a list of things that you can send people that will help them make a decision, whether it's information on your product, your industry, your service, your company, you yourself, so that you've got something. Like we've got, we're fortunate, we've got a YouTube page with maybe, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 videos on it, a bunch of articles. I mean, those are things that we send out on a regular basis to customers to let them know we're interested in helping their business. I mean, yeah, we want to sell them our product, but we want to help them in their business as well. So
yeah, and so look, you need content, you need data. Here's a couple of offers for you. So look, when you're going to follow up? Till somebody dies. Number 2, so frequent they think you're
you're crazy. You're crazy. Crazy.
Number 3, how creative are you going to be?
So creative.
Dude. Nobody knows. Creative. Nobody knows. They think it's a freaking movie now. Okay.